Daughter of Michigan Republican betrays her father and urges people to vote against him in a viral tweet. And I feel like this is a really good time to talk about the cult of wokeness. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet, we're going to talk about this story. Now here you can see the following tweet by a user named Steph on Twitter. If you're in Michigan and 18 plus, please, for the love of God, do not vote for my dad for state rep. Tell everyone. This tweet quickly went viral. It got over 100,000 likes on Twitter, and as you can see here, stories are being written about it. Here it says, daughter of Michigan Republican urges people to vote against her dad. This is betrayal of the highest order, and I find it truly and utterly disturbing. Here you can see on the original tweet thread, it currently has 170,000 likes and 36,000 retweets. Now we're going to take a full look into the story, what exactly she's saying, why she decided to betray her family, and what this all means in our political landscape today, when children betray their own families, all in the name of leftism and woke ideology. But before we do, if you're new to the channel, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications for more content. And if you like the video, please consider giving it a share. And now, a quick word from this week's sponsor.
Zuck the cuck drinks water like a duck, but he also drinks your data. So tell him and Google to shove your data up their schwing-schwangs by downloading the Brave browser. It's free, blocks online advertising, and protects your privacy and data from evil tech companies. You only see ads if you want to see them, and you get cryptocurrency for your attention. Don't let Zuck use you to make a buck. Download Brave by clicking on the link down below.
And we're back. So, here on the original tweet you can see, we're going to read this, we're going to see what she said. We've seen the original tweet. So here she says, since so many people are asking, it is Robert Regan. Do a quick FB or Google search to find info about his campaign. I don't feel safe right now sharing further information regarding his beliefs, but please look him up and just read for yourself. Long story short, her father is a Republican and a conservative, and she belongs to the woke left wing, and that's who she is. Apparently, because her father's a Republican, he must be evil, and she's telling people not to vote for him. That's so despicable to me, that your own child could betray you like this. It's an utter testament to modern-day leftism and the cult of wokeism. She continues, thank you everyone offering support and love. My DMs and notifications are crazy. It's hard to reply, but please know I appreciate you. I didn't think anyone past my hometown friends would see this, but this is more than political beliefs. People, see a familiar name and vote. Read Google. Now, there's a very important pattern that I've noticed when it comes to this sort of thing. Time and time again, I've seen stories of young, oftentimes white daughters betraying their families, trying to cancel their own parents, saying their parents are racist bigots or whatever because they criticized left-wingers or left-wing movements. Even for this littlest of things, their parents having an opinion, they go on Twitter, they go on social media, and these young, naive women try to cancel their parents. Just like this daughter who's trying to cancel her father who is a politician. So why is this happening? Why are so many young, predominantly white girls betraying their fathers and families? Well, I have a theory. I've done a lot of studies into cults because psychology is a huge hobby for me, and I've read studies, I've done a lot of research, different aspects of psychology, including how cults operate and how they work. Did you know that expanding cults target one type of person? Here's the profile. Young, female, vulnerable. Young, vulnerable females are the #1 target of most cults. Now, people could make many arguments as to why this is, but common sense will tell you that young women tend to be more vulnerable, less assured of their beliefs, and sadly easier to indoctrinate and brainwash. That's why you see so many women get swept up in cults, get indoctrinated, get brainwashed into the cult of wokeness and leftism. And that's exactly what I think we're seeing. This is yet another girl who's been brainwashed by the woke, regressive left, and now she's betraying her own father, her own family. And I find it absolutely despicable. Now, she goes on to say things that, to me, signal that she's not a very intelligent person. Here Steph says, "Of course, small government is how narcs find their way into politics. They strive for an empire. It's our job to spread awareness because they can be a huge danger." Wait, what? This makes literally no sense. Small government is how narcs find their way into politics? No. Big government is how bad people end up corrupting the system. Because the more people you have in a system, the more chances for corruption. And a small government isn't an empire. It's the opposite. A small government is the opposite of an empire. It's small. I don't even think she understands what she's arguing for. And she also goes on to say, sorry, LOL, blood is not thicker than water. So how did we get here? How did we get here? Well, it's very simple. If you look at the left-wing political spectrum, the woke people, the liberals, the SJWs, the regressive left, basically the left. Well, for years, they've talked about anti-conservatism, anti-traditional values, and what could be more traditional than the family unit. Leftism preaches that we should destroy the family unit, that we should destroy tradition. And this leads to a direct breakdown of the family. How many articles have you seen where woke left-wing people say, if you have a conservative relative or they voted for the big bad orange man, then you should cancel them, then you should get them out of your life, then you should block them, and that you should basically cut them out of your life. And by the way, that's also something that cults tell people to do. When you're indoctrinated into a cult, they will tell you, well, if your friends and family don't follow our cult's ways and don't believe what we believe, they are toxic, and you should eliminate them from your life. It's the same thing. These are cults. This girl is brainwashed. Now, the politician did respond. And honestly, I'm kind of disappointed with his response because he takes it like a champ. Here you can see on Facebook, Robert Regan, our state representative of the 73rd District. Robert Regan's official statement regarding his daughter's tweets posted late Tuesday night. And he does leave a link to his donation page. So, I'm not going to read his full response, but I will sum it up for you guys. He goes on to say, quote, "I am happy that she feels confident enough in our relationship to express her opposing thoughts so publicly." Bro, she's trying to cancel your entire career. You should disown her. The First Amendment is foundational to our republic, which not only requires but should encourage all perspectives to be expressed without using guilt, obligation, or shame to manipulate people. She's literally doing all three. Every human being has a divine spirit. Blah, 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 our Constitution. I've always encouraged my 4 children to seek the truth, no matter the cost. Seek truth. Well, she's not. And then, he's basically going on to say that I love my children. I'll do what's best for them. We might not always agree, but my door's open and my phone is available. Very politician-y response. Very mature. Very nice. But that's not what his daughter was doing. His daughter was literally trying to destroy his career simply because he's a conservative and she's been brainwashed into the cult of left-wing ideology and wokeism. So very mature response on his part, but if I was him, I would disown her. I would call, oh boy, oh. And of course, now one of the most horrible things about this is, of course, as you would expect, left-wingers are celebrating this. They're celebrating a daughter betraying her father and her family because they support the destruction of family. And they believe in their cult that if you're not with them, you need to be destroyed. Here you can see on r/politics, which is, it's not a place where right-wingers or conservatives or even libertarians can talk freely. It is essentially a left-wing circle jerk of a board. It has 6 million members, and if you're a conservative, you will be banned and censored. They're celebrating this. So the post talking about this story currently has 2,000 upvotes. They're basically celebrating. Dankbot2024 says, "So he's rich. Racist, anti-science, climate change denier, and he's running for office. Good for his daughter for standing up against him." Party On says, "Racist, anti-science, climate change denier. Imagine being on the wrong side of every issue." Left-wingers literally believe that they're right about everything. Now, first of all, I've seen zero indication that this man has bigoted beliefs. That is just left-wingers calling everybody they don't like racist. It's the most ridiculous, disingenuous thing ever. That's what cults do. They give you bad labels. Because again, if you're not with them, you're against them and you must be destroyed. Which is why I do not like the father's response. Don't accept it. Don't turn the other cheek. You put that... I gotta be careful how I say this. But I guess, you're a politician. You gotta come out looking good. Even if your daughter's making you look bad to the left. But let's be honest, it's not like they would have voted for you anyway. So what is she really accomplishing? Disparaging her own family name? I would disown her. Now, the left is always talking about science and how they love the science. But then you bring up statistics or, I don't know, IQ. And all of a sudden, the left doesn't believe in science anymore. They're full of it. As for climate change, the fact of the matter is, most of the pollution comes from China and third world countries that are developing, and China's never going to stop polluting, so who cares? I'm sorry. We can't stop climate change. It's run away. China's never going to stop because they don't care at all. America actually does a lot of stuff, and in Western countries, a lot of which are European, they do a lot of stuff to lower emissions. Well, guess what? China's not stopping. The third world countries are not stopping. It's a waste of time. But try to explain that to a left-winger and they'll never hear it. Because they're all a part of a cult. It's really that simple. So why exactly does she hate her own father? Let's find out. Here on the Daily Dot, it says, Reagan is a red-blooded Republican who previously described himself as so conservative that he makes Rush Limbaugh look like a liberal and boasted about being the first candidate to support President Donald Trump. His issues include making English the official language in Michigan, opposing all forms of immigration reform, which Reagan calls a code word for amnesty, opposing abortion, and restoring Michigan's constitutional militia. Based and red-pilled. Literally all of those things are great, and I support them completely. You should always put America first. People do have a right to have a militia, and as for abortion, I'm kind of on the fence, but at the end of the day, I believe that you're taking life away, and that even if you make it legal, it will always be morally wrong. I think that this story perfectly illustrates the kind of people that left-wingers are. If you read the comments, if you read people that are celebrating this absolute betrayal of your own family, trying to cancel your father's and end his career. If you look at these people, you learn what kind of people they are. They are mean. They are malicious. They want to destroy your life. They will literally sacrifice their own families. Now, let me ask you something. Are people who would throw you under the bus and betray you and stab you in the back like this, are they worth being your friend? Are they worth supporting? Are they worth marrying? Dating? No, I don't think so. They are absolutely a part of the left-wing cult. But that, my friends, is pretty much the story. I think it goes without saying, if your daughter betrays you like this, honestly, I think you failed as a father. I think that you should have taught your children better and not allowed your young, vulnerable, naive daughter to be brainwashed and indoctrinated by the left. Because this will keep happening as long as we allow schools and the woke cult of leftism to indoctrinate our children. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? I'm absolutely appalled. I'm so sick of hearing these stories. Young woke girl betrays their family, tries to cancel their family. It's a tale as old as time, and I'm seeing it more and more. Because for the left wing, it is never enough. You will sacrifice everyone under the pedestal of wokeness and regressive leftist ideology. It's got to stop, my friends. It's got to stop. But let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Now, as always, if you like my content and want to support the channel, you can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar. If you want to donate, there's DonorBox and Bitcoin. And lastly, of course, if you like this video, please share it. Hand out those red pills. And maybe we'll see less stories like this in the future. Have you ever wanted to go on a crusade? Well, now you can. Introducing the Deus Vult Knight Classic t-shirt. A beautifully designed knight stands on the battlefield. You can find a link to get your very own shirt down below in the description. There's also more designs available on my merch store. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.